Good morning. I am Dr. Sajid Kumar Shurin Sabu, MD General Medicine Resident. So, we all have fought the first wave of COVID-19, second wave of COVID-19, pan-India, the entire country, entire world, and different states. Now it has come to a time where the third wave, the expected third wave, so-called third wave, is been slowly rising. We do not know is it really the third wave or some other waves have already come between the second wave and the current wave. So the current wave has started already in the country and we have named it as Omicron variant. So for the few slides will be to give an idea to you based on our comprehensive management experience of few cases of Omicron variant and the global guidelines, WHO guidelines and the state and national guidelines regarding management of COVID-19 as Omicron variant. This will tell you what are the main clinical features, what is the main difference of Omicron variant when compared to the previous waves and how do you manage it. What is Omicron? Omicron, it is named by WHO as a variant of interest or variant of concern due to its specific mutations in the specific gene target regions of the COVID-19 virus. How did the naming come as Omicron? That is very interesting. If you are not aware, here it is. It comes from the Greek alphabets alpha to Omicron. And in between they have skipped the nu and xi. And Omicron comes as the 15th Greek alphabet. This is considered as a variant of interest or variant of concern because there are specific mutation regions in COVID-19 original structure. And the first case was confirmed in 24th of 2021. What are the mutations of Omicron? So we all have faced the previous viruses. Compared to the previous viruses, what are the specific mutations which we should understand regarding Omicron? Omicron, there are 50 plus mutations in the Omicron viral structures, of which 32 of the mutations are in the spike proteins, which is very important for you. These mutations are named, some of the major mutations will be H655Y, N679K, P6814HK, H9 in the spike proteins, or NSP6 associated deletions, or mutation in R203 and furin protein mutation. These are some of the main mutations. In total, there are 32 plus mutations in the spike protein, and total there are 50 plus mutations in the basic structure of COVID-19. And so we have named this as a variant of concern known as Omicron. So now in the further few slides, I will be telling what is the specific features of Omicron when compared to the previous Delta virus that makes it different. One is its transmissibility, which is most important. It is highly infectious that it spreads or it transmits very faster. The doubling time is approximately 1.6 to 2 days based on studies conducted in South Africa. In the graph, you see that when compared to the Delta virus, the present virus multiplies very faster and it can spread very fast in the community. So these are some graphs of the recent studies in the last 7 days, death and new cases in South Africa, where we see that the number of new death is very less, while the doubling time and the transmissibility of Omicron variant is very high. And this is the current stats in Chennai, where you see that when compared to the second wave, the fast rising, the dynamic rising of the current wave is very high. That is, it's very highly transmissible. And in the last 20 days, we see that number of active cases in this current wave in TN is very high and it multiplies very faster. Secondly, the second feature concerned regarding the variation or the mutation is immune escape phenomena. Since I told you that there is 32 types of mutation in the spike protein virus, so it results in the immune escapes because most of the vaccines which we were vaccinated with target the spike protein. So there is a chance that there is vaccine failure, and in South Africa we have seen that there is cases reported and studies reported regarding reinfection in vaccinated candidates too. But then why vaccination? The reason is the last point, that is COVID vaccine, apart from the surface protein, it can also incur or confer you some amount of cell mediated immunity. So you should still get vaccinated even though Omicron can infect the vaccinated people. Third thing is reinfection. The risk of reinfection with Omicron is 3 times higher when compared to previous variants. So even if you were infected once or twice previously, you can still get more infections with Omicron variant. And these are some specific clinical features of Omicron which you should remember. Usually it comes and goes like a mild symptom of mild upper respiratory tract infection without affecting your lungs. And so the chances of oxygen drop concerned with Omicron variant is lesser. It can have sore throat or URI symptoms or extreme tiredness without age limit. It can affect children, adults as well as elderly. Another interesting thing when compared to the previous variants is usually Omicron is reported not to have loss of taste and smell as of today. As of studies, till 31st of January, there is no loss of taste and smell. Usually, most patients will recover without hospitalization at home. This is something about the severity studies which is very recently published 2 days back in JAMA, which tells that compared to Delta, Omicron is having less significant clinical manifestations when compared to the previous infection. This is one fortunate thing which we have. Though you will get infected with Omicron, gracefully, by God's grace, the severity of infection will be less. So this covers you about microbiology part of mutation and the clinical features and specific features concerning Omicron. Now we will deal with the diagnosis of Omicron. WHO laboratory guidelines tells that for diagnosing Omicron, you have two things. One is a proxy test. What is proxy test? I told you the mutation was in the S genes, S proteins. So when you do your Thermo Fisher TaqPath assay for your COVID-19, if you are not able to detect a S gene or a S protein, that is known as S gene dropout or S gene target failure, SGTF. So whenever you have a S gene dropout, in such cases, you consider him as a case of S gene dropout, and such patient is known as Omicron suspect. That is the first thing. Second thing is, whenever you have an S gene dropout or S gene suspect patient or Omicron suspect patient, you should do a confirmatory test for Omicron using a genomic sequence which will perfectly tells your Omicron variant of interest. And the genomic sequence take quite a large number of days to confirm the diagnosis. And this is how you go ahead. You did a PCR for suspected patients and you look for S gene, E gene and N2 which you usually do. If you find a S gene, the chances of Omicron is less. But if there is no S gene detected, that is S gene dropout, you should send for an Omicron genomic analysis to confirm your diagnosis of Omicron. So till you confirm, it is known as S gene dropout case. Whom to test? As told previously, reinfected cases, post-vaccinated infection, community clusters, that is a cluster of high transmittable infection clusters in your community, you should consider testing them. Then young adults who are getting severe infection, though Omicron will not cause a severe infection, you should consider checking Omicron even in them. Then mainly international travelers, you should consider checking for Omicron. That is, you should specifically look for S gene dropout in your PCR. If there is S gene dropout, go ahead with doing a Omicron confirmation. The importance is isolation. Unless you diagnose a case of S gene dropout or genetic diagnosis of Omicron is being done, you cannot suspect, isolate, or do an epidemiological isolation in that particular area of community or family. Treatment. This is very important. Take home as of 31st December 2021 studies and WHO guidelines tells us that Omicron as of today it's mild infection and the treatment is same as how you have treated your previous infections. Same that of previous infection, usually it is milder ones. If you have severe infection, like your previous protocols, you can consider high dose steroids and even IL-6 blockers like tocilizumab which we have used. The treatment is same as that of COVID-19 and previous. So one important thing you should consider is, I told you about Omicron, there is two things. One is it will be a mild infection. Second, the transmissibility or the infectious rate will be very high. So you will have large number of cases which are mild. So the requirement and the facilities of home isolation and COVID care centers will be very high this time in the current wave. So what we have to anticipate is large amount of people requiring home isolation or COVID care center facilities, while severe infection will be less when compared to the previous waves. So ICU stay or designated COVID care hospital requirement will be less. So we should anticipate, and our teamwork and political work should be targeted for facilitating home isolation, telecommunication, telemedicine, and for COVID care centers. This is the protocol based on symptoms: mild cases, home isolation or COVID care centers; moderate, ward; and severe cases, ICU. This is what we all know. We all were following previously too. That is, mild cases which doesn't have any respiratory distress, just URI symptoms, get admitted in COVID care centers or send them home for home isolation. Moderate cases, that is respiratory rate 24 to 30, oxygen saturation 94, less than 94 but more than 92 or 90, get admitted in wards. And if the severe cases, oxygen drop is there less than 92 and there is respiratory distress and respiratory rate greater than 30, admitted in ICU. And the management will be ward management. ICU management will be like your previous COVID-19 management itself, same that the protocol will be uploaded in the link given below. It will be same that you had done previously for your second wave. So mask up, spread out, that means maintain social distance, get vaccinated. Even though Omicron can infect your vaccinated candidates, still your cell-mediated immunity might confer you an immunity. So promote vaccination again and again. So let's all stand together, fight, pray to the Lord Almighty that the upcoming current wave too, we can restore with with the Lord Almighty's grace. And let's all stand together and spread this information to everyone. In the further uploads, I will be uploading regarding the newer treatment modalities, monoclonal antibodies of COVID-19. Thank you.